quality infrastructure for our region is locked into our new strategic plan that started last year and runs for 3 to 5 years. And essentially we have common agreement that the new dispensation for CROSQ is to empower people's lives through the use and value of standards and quality. And that requires a huge awareness-driven campaign to help to do that. So anything we do over the next 2 or 3 years is directly targeted to people, no matter where they are, to help them to use standards, measurement infrastructure, laboratory testing, inspections of quality, all for their personal benefit, and which will no doubt rebound wherever they work and in things that they consume. Now, the way we intend to empower people's lives through standards and quality over the next 5 years is to really encourage and structure engagement so the bureaus of standards in the region, the 15 of them, can work together in a coordinated manner in any member state or between the member states to really promote the value and added benefits of adhering to standards and demonstrating the attestation of quality in people's products and services. So for us, over the next few years, it's all about empowering people's lives through standards and quality, and then working together to bring that to fruition at the basic and most fundamental level of us as human beings, and in all that we do at home and in our work and at play. In order to execute our new strategic agenda, we have 4 thematic areas that we've developed a number of strategies in. One of those thematic areas is the area of institutional infrastructure development. That is, learning how to develop and grow our quality infrastructure institutions, such as the Bureau of Standards, in such a way that they become learning organizations, in that they learn, they grow, they expand, they develop, they innovate, and they spread that message in all the member states and between the member states. In the UNIDO project, we have designed certain strategies to help us promote institutional infrastructure, learning, and growth. For example, we have a project that deals with the development of a new regional quality policy. We have projects that are geared to improving the national standard strategies of a number of the bureaus, and that will give them purpose and direction, or rather more purpose and direction. We have projects that are geared to helping some of the bureaus turn those voluntary standards into technical regulations, and to do so in a manner using good regulatory practice as guided by the World Trade Organization Technical Barriers to Trade Agreement. We also have governance and institutional infrastructure development projects aimed at improving the metrology acts in a number of member states to help scientific metrology, industrial metrology, calibration of equipments, and legal metrology to take a more firmer route. So all those things from the UNIDO project with the African, Caribbean, and Pacific states are geared to help us improve our learning and growth opportunities of our quality infrastructure institutions. Another scorecard or schematic theme that we develop in our strategic plan along has to do with the area of developing the financial capabilities and resource mobilization to support the growth of these quality infrastructure institutions like Bureau. And a couple of projects that we have earmarked under the UNIDO CROSQ ASO Pacific Island Forum Secretariat project is geared towards partnering CROSQ, which is the Regional Center for Regional Quality Infrastructure Development in the Caribbean, partnering us more closely with the African Regional Standardization Organization, in that we want to help them bring quality in a very structured manner to their value chain development, and that's called a CALIDINA program. And we would like ASO to help us to develop our regional sustainability and voluntary standards in the area of eco-marks. And in terms of the Pacific, our counterpart institution there is the Pacific Island Forum Secretariat. And in the Caribbean, we grew over time by developing our national quality infrastructures in 15 member states. And then at the turn of the century, we merged that into a regional quality infrastructure. With the Pacific, they only have about 3 member states with a developed national quality infrastructure. So what we're doing is carrying our regional quality infrastructure model to help them start at that level. And after that, then they cascade down into national quality infrastructure developments in the other 13 member states. And what the Pacific will do for us in turn is that they will teach us how to develop and coach small island developing states in the area of national and regional quality infrastructure development. In that way, we build our brand as CROSQ. And when you build your brand, you expand your products and services, you expand your market for the services. So in the area of our strategic theme of financial sustainability of our regional quality infrastructure using the CROSQ Secretariat and the Bureaus of Standards, what we're doing is working with ASO and PIFs on a bilateral basis to grow our brand and thereby expand our opportunity for developing resources for our region. And all comes from sharing. The other strategic theme that we're developing CROSQ along in the next few years has to do with offering more and better services and solutions for quality infrastructure development. In that respect, we have projects in the UNIDO, ASO, PIFs, and CROSQ program of works to help us build more CARICOM regional standards, help us build our first set of voluntary sustainability standards, along which we will develop some eco-marks with ASO help. We will develop more national quality awards in the region, and also we're going to try to accredit at least 6 laboratories so that their results can stand international scrutiny for when we have to develop export certificates to promote products into foreign lands, or when foreign products come into our region, these laboratories can test those products and their results can stand up to international scrutiny. And finally, and last but not least, the last strategic area of development in our strategic plan has to do with developing a quality culture in our region. And we have some projects in the UNIDO, the CROSQ, ASO, and PIFs program of works to help us train the media to understand better what is quality infrastructure so that they can write about it and spread the word and therefore create demand for the services of the bureaus. We have projects geared to using social media to spread both the demand and supply of quality infrastructure in our region so people can tap into the bureaus for a greater supply of standards, measurement infrastructure, laboratory testing, or certification schemes, and also in the process build a demand for the supply of these services. We also have a very beautiful program coming up where we're going to design a curriculum for educating our youths at the secondary and the tertiary level as to what is standards, what is metrology, what is accreditation, what is certification, inspection, testing. And then with that curriculum that explains what quality infrastructure is in all those disciplines, we're going to then train up some teachers in the primary and secondary schools to roll out this curriculum the best they can in an integrated fashion with some of their existing courses. So in a nutshell, we are trying to build a more competitive Caribbean in the future by empowering people's lives in the area of standards and quality. And in working together, we're not only working with people of the Caribbean, we're also working with people from UNIDO, United Nations Industrial Development Programme, and we're working with people from the African Regional Standards Organization as well as the Pacific Island Forum Secretariat to spread the message of what is quality infrastructure and how we can all work together to raise the awareness of what we do so people could use quality to become more competitive rather than only rely on price to be competitive. Partnerships are critical to the development of our region because we can't do it ourselves, and we operate in a multifaceted world where everything is integrated. So to think that the Caribbean could build its own quality infrastructure by itself is a little myopic, because our quality infrastructure needs to be linked with that in Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Pacific and Latin America in order to allow the seamless trade to take place in terms of exports and imports. And you know, when trade takes place between countries, the economy grows, and when the economy grows, human and social development grows with it, sometimes in front of it, sometimes in the center of it. So it's in all our interests to work together. Working with the EU is really a beautiful experience because they have supported regional quality infrastructure development in CARICOM through CROSQ through 2 major programs so far over the last 10 years. So what we are doing is we are using the UNIDO program to piggyback on what we have been able to accomplish in the 10th and the 11th EDF, as we call it, so that is sustainable development. If your program of works gets resourced from one institutional level to another, and then you build continuity and progress. So I think the European Union will be pretty happy to know that the development financing has linkages from the last 10 years into this UNIDO program of works with CROSQ, ARSO and PIFs, and that then will eventually catapult us in the next year or 2 into the next big European Union Regional Quality Infrastructure Development Programme with us, which is called the Post-Cotonou Agreement. Working with the ACP Secretariat, or the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States, has been a real blessing because they're causing a lot of South-South quality infrastructure linkages to now occur between CARICOM, Africa and the Pacific. And when you link quality infrastructure mechanisms together, then we have one standard, one test, and accepted everywhere, especially in the South-South region. And we've never had that before. So working with the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States, OACPS, and in linkage with the European Union has been very beneficial, and it will continue to be so in terms of donor partnerships, and more so as we move into the future.